Okay, hold on. I'm just checking. Gotta get myself situated. Yeah. Ew, please don't.
No, you go.
Alright, this is always hard. This part's always hard for me. Especially
Why?
if there's other people doing the intro.
Oh, okay, sorry.
No, that's
I'll
okay.
be serious.
No, it's okay. You don't have to be serious. You look like somebody just killed your dog.
I look stoic. My God, that thing's bright.
Yeah, I know. There. Now that I sit back a little bit more, the light's on you. It's focusing on you. Your shiny dome. You look like you got some problems. Okay. It's a good thing I do a lot of editing after this. In the... Oh, I just gave a spoiler. No, we're gonna edit that out.
What the hell?
We're gonna edit that out. Future me will edit that. Hello everybody, welcome back to a new video. My name is Sarah and today I'm here with a very special guest. This is my dad.
Hi everybody.
Hello, yes, so I'm very, very excited for this.
I am too.
You look kind of scared, but...
A little bit.
Okay. It's okay.
I'll get through it.
This will be fun. This is supposed to be fun. So I decided that we should do a fun little read along or read together kind of thing. And I do a little video asking him about his thoughts on the book that we read. So the way this kind of started is that for Christmas he got me Sold on a Monday by Kristina McMorris, which sounds like a very, very depressing book for Christmas. We'll go into what it's about in a bit, but then I realized I hadn't picked it up yet, and I thought that it'd be a fun idea to get him his own copy for Father's Day, and that we'd do a little read-along together.
It was re-gifted.
No, it wasn't re-gifted. There were two copies. But, yeah, so we ended up doing that over the past month, and now we are here with our thoughts on the book. So this book is set in the 1930s, and we follow two main characters, Ellis and Lily. Ellis is a reporter for a newspaper, and then Lily is a secretary at his newspaper. One day Ellis stumbles across a house that has two little kids sitting out front with a sign that says 2 kids for sale. He ends up snapping a photo, and then it somehow ends up in the hands of the kind of editor-in-chief, and the editor-in-chief wants to put it in the paper, and Lily finds herself wrapped up on it, and when the story gets put in the paper, Ellis's career takes off, but then there are some pretty severe repercussions from the story, and that's kind of where this book takes off from.
It was based off a real sign.
Well, yeah, oh yeah, that's another thing. So they've got a picture here.
Yeah, it was based off a real sign. It was during the Depression.
Yeah, so this story isn't just like a made-up story. This is actually based off of it.
Well, yeah.
But yeah, it is a fiction, but it's like it is based off of this actual photograph that ended up in the paper. And McMorris found it and wanted to kind of look at kind of how that could have ended up happening and where kind of the children would have went, maybe in her own kind of reimagining of the story. So I would like to know kind of your first general thoughts on the book. Did you enjoy it?
I enjoyed it.
You enjoyed it?
Kind of put you back in the Depression era when things happen, and
yeah,
how it was different back then than it is today.
Did you think it was pretty accurate, a pretty accurate representation, considering, I mean, you remember that, don't you?
I'm not quite that old, but no, yeah, I imagine it would be.
Yeah.
You know, people were pretty destitute back then and didn't have a lot.
So, kind of with your expectations going into this, did it meet your expectations? Did it go kind of a different direction?
It kind of went a little different than what I thought it was gonna.
Yeah, so what were you kind of expecting?
Not so much, a little bit of love interest and stuff, and different things that happened throughout and stuff, and
yeah,
where his career went because of the picture. I thought it was more based maybe on the kids' journey, as opposed to kind of reporter aspect of it. Yeah,
I kind of felt the same way. I was surprised when we focused a lot. We focused obviously on the kids, but it was not necessarily told from their perspective, which I guess going into it when we're talking about that there's two main characters listed, it makes sense that we were told from their perspective. But yeah, it felt like it dealt more with Lily and Ellis's lives than just like their direct interactions with the kids.
Yeah, and I think the kids' lives kind of come into play later on.
Yeah.
You know, kind of their backstory a little bit is where it starts out more.
Yeah.
And I guess to get to the end, you have to start at the beginning where you know, it takes them to that point, so.
Yeah, I kind of agreed, though. I was not expecting so much on the reporter side.
Yeah.
There's a lot that goes into talking about kind of the how the papers ran, which I was surprised too, but I thought that added to the atmosphere of the story a lot. Which
And about the smoke-filled rooms.
Yeah.
And the click-clacking the typewriters and the, and just, you know, how they're always trying to get a scoop on different things. And yeah, it's kind of interesting.
Yeah, I liked that I felt that she did a really good job really bringing that era and that kind of environment into place.
And some of the boarding houses they lived in had shared bathrooms and, you know, shared rooms with people they didn't know and stuff. And yeah, that was pretty interesting. Yeah,
which is something that, like, obviously doesn't happen very much at all today. I mean, you've got college dorm rooms. That's about the extent to where that happens. But yeah, I kind of forgot that used to be a thing. So that was kind of interesting. I think my biggest difference from expectation to what this book actually was like, I enjoyed the story and I found it very entertaining. I was anticipating more of a social commentary than what there necessarily was. Like, it was there, but like you said, we focused a bit more on like Ellis and Lily and their specific lives, and I felt like the kids definitely did get a little bit of a background until like the second half of the book. And I kind of thought that we were going to go a little bit more into social commentary on like the economical side of things than what we did. It felt a little Hallmarky, I guess, if that makes sense, like a Hallmark movie, a little bit.
Yeah, they kind of touched on why, you know, the kids were put up, you know,
yes,
for sale, and I got some adoption and stuff. And,
yeah, and they did. I did like that there was, they kind of touched on several different places where the kids that did end up getting stuck in this situation end up going. Which,
and there were some pretty intense parts in it where they got kind of, you know what's going to happen next. And there are some surprising spots in it that kind of sprung up that we didn't see coming.
Yeah.
I didn't.
No, I didn't either, because I remember we texted a couple times throughout it asking like just where each other were, and we were both surprised about a common thing in that era and how it related back to this book without spoiling what the thing is that gets involved in this. Yes, I was very surprised.
Yeah, and different than it took place back then.
Yeah.
We'd find it kind of appalling today, maybe. Or
yes, for sure. And it was even appalling back then, some of the things, which it was interesting to see how, like, you know, it was kind of a normalized thing, but it was still very taboo for it to happen.
Yeah.
I also liked how the Prohibition got kind of brought into this, which I, like, you know, so many things happened during this era of time that, like, you kind of forget that they all did happen at the same time. So I liked that the Prohibition came in because it just, again, added to bringing in the time period.
And how much things seemed cheap to us, but cost a lot back then. You know, like $1 was like, you know, a big thing, you know, and now today, you know, $1's a big thing, but just it's not like it was back then.
Yeah. You don't read like a whole lot. Did you find this to be pretty accessible, like a pretty easy book for like anybody to pick up?
Oh yeah, I think it was.
Okay.
You know.
The writing style, like, because I liked her writing style a lot. Like, I felt that it wasn't like too flowery.
I'm not as prolific a reader as she is.
That's fine. No, and
But yeah, I found it very easy to read, easy to follow along. It was in depth in spots, but it was a good, nice read.
I didn't ask that to insult you.
I didn't mean it like that.
No.
It's just I know you're.
Just to be clear, because like, you know,
15 books a month. Maybe
But it's nice to hear from, like, for me, I like a specific writing style, but that's because
And I guess that's the reason I picked it up for you for Christmas, because I knew you read a lot in the same kind of, you know, kind of genre or field and stuff. And I thought, well, I might mix it up a little bit, something different, you know, and I said she needs a little more reality.
Not so stuck in wizards
the fantasy world.
No, and I did
So that's why,
appreciate
and I
it.
thought I might mix it up a little bit. So
it is a very good change of pace, and
so every Christmas you're gonna be getting
no, I'm down
birthdays,
for it.
everything. No, I'm kidding.
No. I honestly, like I said, I really enjoyed this book. Did you have a favorite character? I have my little notes here. Like, did you? I guess between Lily and Ellis, did you have a favorite between the two?
I kind of liked Ellis. You know, I think he was had a good heart. I think he had a good moral compass. You know, I think he got distracted a little bit in a few things, but kind of came full circle a little bit. So
yeah, I think
that's what I liked about him. He was pretty cool.
Yeah, I guess I liked Lily's because being a woman, it's interesting always to see women's stories through different time periods, but I liked Ellis's a little bit more just because he had a lot of like a inner like moral struggle and like his desire to become a reporter and like make big breaks but also keep his like moral compass.
Yeah, because a lot of reporters, I don't know, probably today even, you know, they got kind of step over the bounds to get the top story, and he was trying to walk that line of not, you know, like getting too much in the mob scene or different things that were kind of, or the prohibition stuff, and tried to, you know, stay with the good stuff, I guess.
Yeah. So like we were kind of talking how there's like several different themes and like just things in general from this time period. Was there anything in particular that you kind of wish was expanded upon, or that we would have focused on a little bit more? I know we talked about how we wish the kids were kind of more in the beginning than necessarily just the second half, but was there anything else?
No, not really. It kind of covered a lot of different things with his dad, and you know, and the mob a little bit, and you know, and how maybe a little bit, I guess it kind of told a little bit how he grew up a little bit. Kind of gave him how he felt, you know, later on in life and stuff. But yeah, I think it covered it pretty well.
Yeah.
Or maybe a little more of day-to-day life with the kids.
Yes.
Before the sign came up.
Yeah.
So then you could have a little more of a, I guess, understanding. And you find, and I don't want to give nothing away, but I guess you kind of have a little more understanding later on in the book. But earlier on, you don't really know why, you know, you just kind of like appalled why would you sell your kids and stuff. But I guess see their struggles a little bit more back when, you know, day-to-day stuff by them. Yeah,
I agree. And even if like they kept it where it was like, you know, I feel like she wanted you to be like appalled in the beginning, and then when it goes to an explanation and kind of you see from the mother's perspective, I feel like it would have been interesting to have a couple of like maybe flashback scenes of like their day-to-day.
And then like we kind of commented back for a couple times about we're not quite sure where this is going.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden things kind of start to make sense or come. Now we kind of know where it's going a little bit, but then there's surprises along the way that kind of, you know, but like the first part is kind of, we're not quite sure.
Yeah, it felt like the first half we were definitely setting up the like Ellis and Lily's story, but there was like no real direction to where the plot was actually going. Yeah, I definitely think that could have been structured a little bit better.
Yeah, well, overall it was a good book.
Yes.
I enjoyed it. And
good
to read. So.
What would you rate it out of 5 stars?
I'd probably give it a 3.5, 4 right there.
Oh my gosh, I gave it a 3.5.
Did you really?
Wow, we're both. Look at us. We're on the same wavelength here.
Yeah.
Would you read one again with me? Would you do?
Sure.
We could find. So would you want to do what? Tell the people what kind of genres we might see from you in the future. So because this is historical fiction.
Well, I do kind of like historical fiction. I like history.
Okay.
And stuff,
Is there a time period?
Outdoorsy stuff.
Outdoorsy stuff. You like a survival story?
Yeah, could be, I suppose. Or crime dramas are okay.
All right. Would you be down for a horror, but not anything too crazy? Because
okay.
I've had in mind. I think you might like The Only Good Indians. Is there anything you'd like to tell the people?
I'm pretty proud of this girl. I love her in no end.
Aw, I love you too, Dad.
Love you too.
Aw, I was not expecting that. I was expecting you to like make some joke or bring up your duck decoy.
Why would you?
I don't know.
No.
Aw, you're so nice. But thank you so much for watching. Thank you for joining me. I had a lot of fun reading this and kind of discussing with you whenever we were catching up with where each other were in the book.
It's good father-daughter bonding, or son bonding, for that matter.
So I highly recommend
for your growing kids out there and stuff that have left the nest, and kind of, you know, it's a way to keep in contact and bond.
Yes, so I highly recommend doing this with your parents or your kids even if they live in your house. Force them to sit down and read with you.
Wow, about that.
Okay, maybe not.
Supper rooms, maybe.
Yeah, supper rooms. But thank you so much for watching. I hope you consider sticking around and subscribing. But as always, we hope you have a great rest of your day. And
It's reading night, Paul.
It's reading night, Paul. Okay, we'll see you in the next video.
All right, bye.